How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RUFFLEDLIVE, and welcome back to a brand video, guys. Today, we're going to be taking a look at loads of Pokemon, well, basically leaks, news, and information you may have missed since the trailer came out yesterday. So this is a lot of information that you may know, may also not know, but just keep that in mind. It's going to be a long video, so grab yourself a water, and let's get started. Starting things off, we're going to be starting with this right here. Kind of an obvious one, but it looks like, you know, clearly, when you look at Paldea, the new region, and you look at the map of it right here, which if you haven't seen it already, this is what the map looks like. One thing you will notice is it looks very strikingly similar to Spain and Portugal, as well as Gibraltar, I guess, at the bottom. The map of them, right? Which is just seen from a different perspective, and it perfectly connects up towards where France would be, aka, you know, Kalos in this case, right? And if you look at it right here, you can literally see this is exactly what it would look like. This is legitimately what it would look like, right? You even have the exact, like, sea right there between the two of them, right? Like the Bay of Biscay, you got that in between there as well. This is literally perfectly kind of lined up. So yes, this is definitely what they're based on, but does that mean we're going to be seeing Kalos in this game? No, I don't think so. I do think a DLC will be in this game in the future, and up here, kind of like on the border between the two, we're probably going to see Andorra. I think Andorra, which is a very tiny little country, like smashed in between there, is most likely going to get some representation, or some of the islands that are controlled by either Portugal or Spain, whether that be the Canaries or, well, I don't know, any of the other ones, including the one that also Portugal has off their coast. So my point is, like, there's a lot of options for DLC locations they can go in. Andorra is a country that's also there, so, you know, there's always a possibility, and of course the other islands around. There's a lot of possibilities where they can go in terms of direction with this, but just want to bring this up as a first thing because it allows for a lot of malleability within this game, right? They can really go in any direction for the DLC, as there are a lot of options they can base it off of. Also, I look really chunky now. I've gained some weight. I'm sorry. Either way, I'll improve myself. Nonetheless, next thing, guys, they have reintroduced the minimap in the game. The last time we got this was back in Sun and Moon. Shout out to Mixelli for sharing this, by the way. But yes, the minimap, as you can see in the corner over there, it has returned, and it looks pretty good. I do appreciate the minimap. I know some people don't like it, but personally, I'm pretty cool with it, especially since this is an open-world game, and you probably want to know a little bit of where you are, and plus it can help you find, like, certain objectives and stuff like that. But yes, so I'm personally cool with that. The minimap has returned. Next up, we have loads of characters now, guys. So I didn't cover really all of these yesterday too much, but I have a bit of a theory on these guys, and I did a bit of a theory on this yesterday already, but I'm going to go through, first of all, what Soul Silver says, and then give my own thoughts. So he says, so many new characters in Scarlet and Violet. These might just be teachers, or they may be other trainers, like the Elite Four. We already know all the gym leaders except one, and it looks like one gym leader might be a teacher too, or maybe it's the gym leader's mom. We still haven't seen the evil team and more, but I'm going to say it like this, okay? I think the trainers you see right here, or the teachers you see right here, these are the Elite Four. She is definitely an Elite Four member. The reason I say this is, one, she looks like she's going to be a fighting type. I mean, even the pose she's in looks like she's going to be some sort of, like, you know, PE teacher that's very, like, you know, kind of like a fighter, so to say, which matches up really well with what we know about the Elite Four, because we know the typings of all the gym leaders and all the Elite Four. They've already been leaked, and I will do a video down the line breaking down all the gym leaders 100%, what we know about them and everything like that. We'll do that down the line. Don't worry, that's going to happen. But what I want to talk about right now is the fact that this girl right here, this character, I mean, you know, this person is going to definitely be one of the Elite Fours. Now, why am I saying Elite Four? Because technically this game won't really have an Elite Four the way you're used to it. What they're doing in this game is that instead of you being the champion, you simply gain the champion rank, right? If you become the champion, you're not really a champion, you just have the champion rank, which multiple people can have. So it doesn't mean that just because you're the champion, you're now, like, you know, considered the champion of the region. You're just a person with a champion rank. You're just considered the highest rank within the ladder of, you know, Pokemon trainers. You just have the highest possible rank of that. But also, they mentioned on the website, when you are doing the gym challenge specifically, you will have to do a test. It's a test you do. You basically do a champion assessment test that tests your skills and all the knowledge you've learned through your journey of getting the 8 badges in the game. And guess what? If you are doing a test, who is the person usually testing you? Well, it's usually a teacher. A teacher gives you a test. A teacher hands you a test. A teacher is the one who tests your skills in something. And I think that these teachers that we see in this game, some of these teachers might serve as gym leaders. Like, for example, this lady right here, she is already, like, we already know that she is one of, like, the, I think we already kind of knew. Maybe she's a different character. I mean, these two, they look the same, but they are also a bit different in terms of design. So maybe there are two characters that look like this. They might even be, like, you know, related in some way, or, like, you know, twins or something like that. Or they are literally the same character. I don't really know. But this lady right here on the other side, she, we know for a fact, is a gym leader, right? That's what we've been told, okay? That's at least what we've been told, and most likely, you know, the ghost one. But if you look at the image with all the other, like, you know, people, we have, of course, you know, Jacques, who, like, Jacques, or whatever, who we think is most likely also going to be either, like, the final person you battle to get on, like, to get your, I guess, champion rank, so to say. People are speculating he might be the actual champion of the game, the actual champion or whatever. And then, of course, the character on the right side over there, all the way to the right, is maybe the fairy-type gym leader because of the Hatterini or whatever right next to it. So, again, the possibilities are endless, but I think personally, and even this guy is a teacher, by the way, I think the way it is this. Instead of an Elite Four and a champion that are just, you know, random trainers that you meet only at the end, the actual champion and Elite Four are going to be these guys, okay? It's going to be these people that we already have to experience the whole game with, right? The people that give us our missions, that teach us the things in the games, that, you know, give us our side quests and stuff like that. Basically, these are the people that are going to be serving, as far as I can tell, are going to be serving as the Elite Four, or rather, the Elite Trainers, right? The Elite Four trainers and the Elite Champion, with somebody who has a champion rank, who'll then be doing a test to assess how good you actually are. That's the way I look at it. And let's see what's being said down here by Soul. It says, I believe that the girl in all black is a fighting type trainer, probably Elite Four. And then it's possible that this other girl in blue is a psychic, maybe fairy type trainer that could also be the lost gym leader we need, which is possible. Oh, and apparently I missed another, which is this guy right here, which a lot of us missed. He kind of looks like, what's the bad guy in, what's the name of that guy again? Malfoy, whatever, from like Harry Potter, like the bad guy. I don't remember, like the kid that hates Harry. My point is, either way, yes, he looks kind of sketchy nonetheless. But either way, what was I trying to say? My point is, I do think that what we're seeing right here, at least in this image, is a big reveal for how the actual system is going to work. You're not going to become a champion. You're going to get a champion rank. It's going to be a different thing, so to say, right? We move on to the next thing, though, which is a bit of an explanation, I guess, somewhat, I guess, on how these, like, terrestrial forms and what the deal is with them. He says here, I've seen a lot of confusion concerning the main gimmick terrestrials, but now, since Ku has just explained it clearly, I'll do a breakdown. Pay attention to the dates now. The most basic way to explain this is the Hidden Power Plus, which is true, by the way. Here's my original prediction from back in May, which you guys can read through if you want to pause the video right here, where it was the talks about it being a third thingy. But basically, the way it, like, functions, it's, there is this kind of easier explanation I've seen, which is this one right here. It's kind of the best way to break it down. So even, like, you know, Riddler Ku says, yep, and if it turns into a former stab type, then stab goes from 1.5 to 2 times. Imagine a Terra Water Kyogre, kill me now. So basically, from all the info, this is how they basically think it works. If you have a regular Magnemite, Electric Steel, regular stab, and regular typing, right? So if you lose an electric type move, you'll get stab on that. If you use a steel type move, you get stab. Oh, I guess, yeah, you know what I mean? But basically, you'll get stab the regular way, right? But then if you have a terrestrial version of Magnemite, right, that is normal type, you will just be pure normal type stab and loses the steel and electric, you know, I guess stab in this case, and typing, plus the normal damage is also included there, right? But then if you have a Pokemon that gets, for example, in this case, if it gets an electric, you know, terrestrial form, then it's pure electric stab, loses the steel, but gets a plus increase. So instead of 1.5, it's 2 times the increase on the stab with the electric move. So if you have a Pokemon that has a dual type, that one dual typing that matches with the Terra typing it has will be so much more strong. It will be so much more boosted that it will be insane. So I'm curious to see how this is going to actually work and pan out. I'm seeing a lot of potential here with a few Pokemon that could definitely work incredibly well. But my point is this. It's going to be an interesting gimmick. I know a lot of people are not really that excited for it. A lot of people are complaining. I do think, actually, that this is going to work pretty well. I think this system might actually work really well in the game. And I think the concerns are valid, but I think it's going to work out really well. We'll see how it actually all turns out. But it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to fit, you know, how it's going to, like, kind of clear up and work, like, so to say. But, yeah, whatever you guys think about this, let me know in the comment section down below. I know there's a lot of, like, you know, a lot of discussion about this and how it's going to function and all that, but I want to see what you guys think about all this. And yeah, even Zodiac, or I guess Riddler Ku, even came out and said, like, you know, back in March, the first Riddle of Titan went with the 3rd type in Chinese. The trick of this one is people would assume that the gimmick was gaining a 3rd type rather than turning into a 3rd one, though it could be the same as before. So yeah, basically he was trying to trick us by, you know, saying stuff. So yeah, I guess when Ku says stuff, you got to be a little bit, you know, a bit agile, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, specifically, this is another thing that was posted by, well, who else but Riddler Ku, showing us, I think, what's his name is, Avery or whatever, whatever his name is. Interestingly, his eye color and hairstyle and hair color do match up with the professor's a little too well, okay? I don't know if you guys can see it, but I mean, if this is something Riddler Q's putting out there, then I think it's worthwhile to look at, and I think it makes sense. Now, I've talked about this in a previous video, now I've seen everybody's jumped on the train of this, but I spoke about this yesterday, which is the fact that they told us that this game is split into 3 different paths, right? This is something we also learned from the leaker a while back, but something people didn't really pay much attention to. But basically, this game is split into 3 different paths, and each of the 3 rivals, Avery here, Penny, and of course Nimona, they're all specifically targeted to one of those paths. Nimona is for the gym leader champion path, right? Then you have Penny, who's for like the evil villain and racing part of the game, right? That's where, you know, Penny's related to. And even that matches with Penny because these racer people, they're going to be basically delinquents, right? People that skip school. The same way Penny skips school and is the only person from the school who doesn't wear a uniform. Everybody else is wearing a uniform or a professor's coat to match with the school, but Penny doesn't. Penny doesn't wear anything that matches with the school and wears a totally different uniform, right? Just a regular, you know, hoodie and stuff, which already shows you she's a bit of a delinquent. The character is a bit more of a delinquent, a bit more of, you know, an outsider, doesn't want to be part of that, and is, you know, a little bit, you know, against the system, right? A bit of a rebel, which makes sense, and that fits well with the other story, which is about racing, probably like, you know, drag racing around like the, you know, the map and stuff, and probably doing some illegal shit as well. Basically, that's what that story is about, which is like the other one. And then the final one is this lad right here, which is the middle one. That's the one about the lore and history of this region with the giant towers. You guys may have seen these giant towers. We're going to look at the map later and break down the full map. But if you've seen these giant towers, those are most likely related to the Paradox Pokemon, the Pokemon from the past and the future, right? These Pokemon will most likely, a few of these, will probably be located in these towers, and based on what game you play, you'll be encountering certain ones, right? But you'll go to most likely these locations to learn more about the history of the region, learn what, you know, what happened in the past. How are these Pokemon here? Why do they look so similar to existing Pokemon, but are still different, right? And also, this might be where we might see the R fakes as well, but I think the Paradox Pokemon, aka the future and past forms, like the, you know, the past Among Us and the future like Delibird and stuff like that will be showing up, and more of the lore of the region will be explained. But also these two, the professors, make sense to be connected to this character. It makes sense that they would be in some way interconnected because the professors are trying to figure out what the thing is behind, what caused the Terrestrial Forms to happen. And I think with the help of, you know, our Avir, whatever his name is, I don't remember, I'm sorry. This info came out yesterday, so it's a bit hard to remember all this. But I think this character is most likely going to be connected to the story and connected to these two. Who knows? Maybe this character is like that middle version, right? Because we already talked about this, how like, you know, these two represent the past and the future, right? You have, you know, Turo, and you have Sada, right? Sada for pasado, aka the past. Turo for futuro, which is the future, right? And then this guy, Avery, I don't know if that actually, or Avir, whatever, if his name actually matches with any word that connects to, like, you know, the present, so to say. I don't really know if there's anything like that. I'm trying to look and see here if anybody said anything about this. I don't know what this person is saying, which is, I thought about it, I'm sure it is, which is, I guess, the connection here. But I don't think anybody's actually said anything about the literal, like, you know, like the literal connection right here. If we actually try to translate this like to English, this is it, and I guess it's just them trying to make the connection again. But yeah, I don't know, it is kind of crazy. So what are we trying to say here? I think that he is the representation of the present, right? If those two are maybe his parents or connected to him or somehow, those two represent the past and the future. He represents the present, right? They are trying to figure out something about the past of the region, and the other one about the future of the region. He is trying to figure out the present time. What's been going on? What's happening to the, you know, region? What's going to be happening in the future to it? You know, why are these Pokemon appearing from different timelines, from different worlds, basically? What's the deal? And I think he's our middle character. We thought it was Nimona, but I think right about now, we know who the actual one is for that. And it's the character we know least about, and that, you know, we just don't have as much information on, which is quite interesting. Next, we have another piece of information coming to us from, of course, Riddler Q, who says, guess the regional fake among these 4 candidates. Guys, and stop using that inappropriate professional terminology, aka convergent evolution. You'd better check its definition. Lamau, for this term's misuse, I said meme Pokemon. Meme matches are fake. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's telling us that one of these 4 lads right here, unless he's lying to us, one of these 4 Pokemon is going to be getting a regional fake. And again, he calls them R fakes, and he doesn't want to call them convergent evolution. He seems to be against that term, which is interesting. That's weird, because that's something that, you know, has been talked about a lot by us on the podcast and stuff. I know that Lumios has talked about that. Lumios Post has talked about that a lot, which is quite interesting. So I don't know. It is a bit weird, but he's literally saying that that is not the, you know, term, I guess, to use here, which is strange. But the 4 Pokemon he offers us here are Tentacool, you know, we got like, whatchamacallit, Lapras in there as well, like Seal as well, and whatnot, and Krabby. But yeah, you got a few different Pokemon right here, pretty different options, right? The question is, which one of these realistically is going to get a regional fake, a Pokemon that looks like it but isn't it, right? I don't really know. There is nothing here that tells me which one would be it. I guess, like, you know, any of them that can crawl onto land makes a lot of sense, because that's something he hinted at in the past, but I don't really know which one is likely, though. I don't know, man. I mean, whatever you guys think, let us know. I mean, like Seal here, like little Seal. I don't know if that Seal's going to be getting it, but I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. Whatever you guys think, let me know in the comment section down below, but that's about it. And then, of course, we've already spoken about this, but this is something we already know. This image shows the 3 main stories that you'll be able to complete in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet: the Mystery of the Towers, gyms and becoming a champion, and the flags and the villain team. Now, the Mystery of the Towers is also the one that's connected to the lore of the region, right? And possibly even like the Terrestrial Forms and the connection to them and all that. And, you know, it just makes total sense. The connections are right there. And you guys can see right here, there's even a literal post by Riddle confirming this aspect, saying the following, which is, Nimona is a goddess, Penny is a badass, and I said Avery, it's Arven. Jeez, Arven is a Manny, enjoy your rivals, right? Now, he literally connects them here with the images. Like, look at this. Literally connects them. You've got, you know, Avern here. Arven, sorry. I keep messing up his name. Arven. I mean, how do I remember Nimona and Penny, but not Arven? What's wrong with me? Either way, Arven clearly connected to the towers and that lore. Nimona with the gyms, and Penny with the delinquents, the evil team, the villains, and their racing cars and stuff. And then, of course, we had, you know, Soul Silver coming out saying, Paldea, here's the 3 storylines of Scarlet and Violet. Arven is still the most mysterious, which is true. A Manny is classically known as a man who's a nanny, takes care of children. So unless Ku found a different meaning for it, maybe he's our chaperone / guide through this quest. Seems like he may have a hard exterior personality, but maybe a soft, goofy character. The Manny's quest might be the lighter of the 3, more of a hunting for food, ingredients, and treasures across the region. A Manny would cook and take care of type of dude, I guess. This is due to his name being Pepper and him holding a berry, and isn't good at battles. While Penny's quest is probably the more serious and deep arc. She's probably involved with the evil team gang in some way. Maybe she's related to the leader, or she's like a Gladion in Team Skull, or she is bullied by them. I'm just brainstorming, but the ideas are endless. Nimona is the main one. This about sums it up. So yeah, 3 storylines. Nimona gym challenges, Penny the evil team races related to the flags or lowrider, and then Arven research on tower exploring and healthy recipes. So a nice combination of all of those perfectly, which I think is quite interesting, and I like the idea of it. Then we also have something interesting which came to us from Riddle, who says, say yo to our new Poison Steel type. So yes, we were told a while back that it was going to be in this game, in Scarlet and Violet, a Pokemon based on an engine. Well, guess what? The car we saw, the car right here, what you see in the middle right there, that engine, that's a Pokemon. That's an actual Pokemon right there. And you can even tell that it's a poison type because of the, you know, the poisonous looking like purple that's dripping off. That does kind of illustrate that and kind of give off that feeling of poisonous to it, you know, poison to it, right? So this is a poison or steel poison type, doesn't matter which direction, I guess. But yeah, poison steel type Pokemon right there based on an engine, and we've literally already seen it in the trailer, and I guess that's going to be used by the villains in some way, like the bad guys. Which is pretty interesting, ladies and gentlemen. But we pretty much have the confirmation for that, which I think is quite interesting. So, there you go, ladies and gents. That's pretty cool. Then we also have this right here from Pokizutami. He says, there are a lot of interesting pre-order bonuses going around, including this one from 7net Shopping, which is a variety in the game's ball set. To be honest, kind of average, but the interesting thing is the in-game images. It seems like different special balls have unique animations. So yes, there are different animations for, like, you know, the pre-order bonuses in this case. You've got Timer Ball, Heal Ball, Dive Ball, Luxury Ball, Repeat Ball, Net Ball, and Dusk Ball. If you look at the images right here, They all have a different kind of like animation to them, which look kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, look pretty neat. And I think there's more images down here with like Sableye as well, and also I don't really know what this. That's Scolipede or what is that? Can't really tell. And that's an Azumarill most likely. This one I'm unsure about. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. But yeah, we pretty much have also a confirmation on some of the cool Pokeballs. Now, will all these be available? I don't really know if they'll be available for free. I don't know. In the game to buy, we'll have to wait and see. Next, we have this right here, which I guess is also kind of like more info on the Terrestrial gimmick. And he says, now you know why. The full Terrestrial gimmick explanation in the quote tweet below. And again, it's an old tweet that he put out where he says, random Pokemon thoughts. You ever wonder why Game Freak just up and canned Hidden Power in Gen 8? Like, it was fun and convenient, a little advantage to have. Well, guess what? They removed it so they could introduce Terrestrial Form. So that's why that was removed. So yes, basically, Terrestrial is Hidden Power Plus, right? It's the increased, better version. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have this to talk about as well, which I think is interesting that we didn't see this in the recent trailer, but also it does make sense. So here's what he says. Don't forget, I know we just got news, but we did see the Pokemon Company Incorporated filming a live-action Scarlet and Violet trailer in July. In this trailer for Worlds, or is this trailer for Worlds or just a commercial? Either way, I still expect at least a little more news in August. Maybe even at Worlds, we could get a new Pokemon revealed. Maybe there'll be a short demo at Worlds like they did at E3 in 2019 for Sword and Shield. We saw both Impidimp and Yamper for the first time there. Would be fun to get a few more Pokemon revealed like this, especially with the leaks rampant. Also, Game Freak will be speaking at the CEDEC. Obviously, this is geared towards something entirely different, but it's still important to note that they could drop some valuable info on how Scarlet and Violet has been developed. My point is, more news, even if small, should be coming soon, and if not, likely in early September is a safe bet. So yes, definitely the possibility for more news, which is crazy to be talking about because we just got news, but I do think we're going to be seeing more news ramping up now that we're getting closer. There's only 3 months left or so, ladies and gentlemen, until these games release, and we're already 4 days into August, so there are news coming, there is more info coming. Stay tuned, there is more stuff on the way, and I mean, hey, the games are closer and closer now. So, move on to the next thing, and this is shout out to my boy Sylph Spectre, because he put together a list of every single Pokemon that's confirmed for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and he put it together, and it's 181, and he included Sunkern, Sunflora, and Tauros. Those three have been overtly represented in the images in the Protea region, with statues and clothing, etc., but have not yet been seen in the wild. They are marked by an asterisk, and here is the list. And the list is as follows, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can see it above my head, so you can just kind of pause the video, and, you know, as I'm going to scroll through here, you guys can just pause the video and go through it one by one if you want to see them all. But also, there will be, you know, you guys can just go and check out Soul Silver on YouTube. On Twitter. He has a link there to all of this stuff. But yeah, we have, like, Pikachu, Raichu, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, Venonat, Venomoth, Meowth, Persian, Psyduck, Golduck, Growlithe, Arcanine, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Magnemite, Magneton, Shelder, Cloyster, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, Chansey, Scyther, Tauros with an asterisk. Then we have, let me see. Let's get all the way down here. We have, let me see, where were we? Magikarp, Gyarados, Eevee, Vaporeon. We also have, let me see, Jolteon, Flareon, Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, Pichu, Igglybuff, Mareep, Flaffy, Ampharos, Azumarill, Hoppip. Then we have Skiploom, Jumpluff, Sunkern, Sunflora, the regional Wooper, so Paldean Wooper and Paldean Quagsire, which isn't really a Quagsire, it's a brand new evolution. Then we have Espeon, Umbreon, Murkrow. I think we also have, not just Murkrow, but I guess he's included in maybe further down, but also we have Murkrow's evolution as well, Honchkrow, which we did see as well. Slowking, Misdreavus, we also have Mismagius, Wobbuffet, Girafarig, Pineco, Fortress, Scizor, Houndour. Then we have also Houndoom, Fanfy, Donphan, Blissey, Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar, Wingull, Pelipper, Ralts, Kirlia, Gardevoir, Slakoth, Vigoroth, Slacking, Makuhita, and Hariyama as well. Then we have Azurill, Sableye, Cacnea, Cacturne, Swablu, Altaria, Seviper, Wynot, Snorunt, Glalie, Bagon, Shelgon, Salamence, Starly, Staravia, Staraptor, oh boy, Shinx, Luxio, Luxray, Combi, Vespiquen, Pachirisu, Drifloon, Drifblim, Magius, whatever you want to call it, Honchkrow, there we go, Bronzor, Bronzong, Happiny, Riolu, Lucario, Hippopotas, Hippowdon, Finneon, Luminion, Magnezone, Leafeon, Glaceon, Gallade, Frostlass, Rotom, Petilil, Lilligant, Zora, Zorark, Deerling, as well as Sawsbuck, Tynamo, as well as Electric, Electros, Cubchoo, as well as Beartick, Cryogonal, Dano, sorry, Zweilous, Hydreigon, Fletchling, Fletchinder, Talonflame, Scatterbug, Spupa, Vivillon, Flabebe, Floette, Florges, Skiddo, Gogoat, Clauncher, Clawitzer, Sylveon, Noibat, Noivern, Rockruff, Lycanroc, Marini, Toxapex, sorry about the neighbors in the background drifting down the street, Mudbray, Mudsdale, Fomantis, Lorantis, Bouncewheat, Steenie, Serini, Squavid, Gredent, Choodle, Dreadnought, Roly-Coly, Carkol, Colossal, Applin, Flapple, Appleton, which I don't know if those are really confirmed, though, to be honest, Sinistea, Poltegeist, Hatini, Hatteram, Hatterini, Berserker, Pinchurchin, Stonejourner, SQ, Cuffin, Copperage, Cleavor, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, Quoxley, Palmy, Smoliv, Lechonk, Fido, or Fido, I don't know what you would call him, Fido, Satitan, Koraidon, and Miraidon, I guess, as well. And this is without even including whatever else kind of, you know, stuff that's been leaked, right? Which we actually do have a website. This website is fantastic. This was put together by Makio and Jay Roses, who put together a full Pokedex of Scarlet Violet with all the leaked Pokemon and information to date, right? So this is all the leaked stuff. So if, for example, we can look at all the Paradox and Ancient Pokemon in this case, which are the following. We have the past Amoonguss, we have the past Jigglypuff, the past Misdreavus, the past Volcarona, the random Gen 2 Pokemon, and the Tyranitar Salamence possibilities. We also have a Paradox Future version right here, which we have the Future Volcarona, Future Gen 2 Pokemon, Tyranitar and Salamence, Future Delibird, Gallade, and Hariyama as well. As for regional forms, we only know of these. We know that Paldean Wooper has been confirmed. We know that there is also the Wooper cross-gen, the Wooper regional evolution, which is not going to be Quagsire. It's going to be a brand new one. And then we have 3 different versions of Tauros, which I don't know if that's been confirmed. We know there's definitely going to be a Tauros form. If it's going to be 3 different, you know, regional forms for it, we don't really know that, but that's another thing. For cross-gen Evos, we have the following ones. Mankey's going to be getting a Primeape. Ponyard's going to be getting... Primeape is going to be getting a new Primeape Evo. Bishop's going to be getting a new Bishop Evo. Dunsparce, a new Dunsparce Evo. Giraffrig, we already seen the Giraffrig cross-gen Evo. And Paldean Wooper's going to be getting, I guess, a cross-gen regional evolution, if that makes any sense. So that's that. And as well for the regional fakes, we know of these, a regional fake Diglett and Dugtrio, and another Gen 1 Pokemon, which is the Crab we saw earlier, or, either like, you know, Krabby, Seal, and what else was in there, Tentacool, and I guess Lapras. But yeah, one of them lads is going to be getting it as well. So we'll see how that turns out as well, ladies and gents. Moving on to the next thing, which is the map, ladies and gentlemen. So Razuxo, shout out to my man, put together a fantastic list. He actually made a beautiful map version that's actually mapped out with all the screenshots from the games that are connected to all the points in the map so you can know where everything is located. And there's actually a bunch of stuff that he's included, but also he has a bit of a theory, which before we go to the interactive map, I want to point this out. He did a bit of a theory where he says the following, right? If you look at the spots 1 and 2 down there, he says this is where the game starts with the TV cutscene. If you guys remember in the trailer, if we just turn off my face cam here, right here where my face cam is, you'll see the TV, and the area where we start is where that house is located, right? So that's where we start our game. That's our starting town, and then we run down to this house where we meet Nemona, I guess. You walk to area 2 where you meet Nemona and the starters, and 3, the first battle with Nemona before entering the Academy City. So we get our starter most likely at the same time as Nemona gets it, and she's going to get the weaker version of the starter. So if we choose, you know, Fuecoco, she's going to take Sprigatito. If you choose Quoxley, she's going to take Fuecoco, etc., right? So you get the point. But this is kind of what the starting area is going to be like and how it's going to work, most definitely based on what we see right here. Speaking of which, we also know the names of these areas because of an image from the actual, like, you know, you have the map on the top here, and then you have on the bottom the actual, like, gameplay map, which shows you how big this area is in reality, which does pretty much match up to the map we've seen, which is interesting. But it does look, I'm going to be honest, quite large. It doesn't look too tiny. It looks like there's a lot of stuff to do here. It looks like it's a pretty decently sized map. Like, there is quite a bit of content to actually enjoy, which I think is perfect and good to know. So that's a bit of a heads up. Also, as noticed by Shadir HS here from Belgium, by the way. Shout out to all the Belgian people watching, because I'm also in Belgium right now. Hello, alles goed? Ja, Nederlands, whatever. Either way, so let's get into the rest of the thingy. But he discovered, if you look around the map, you'll notice that these buildings that look just like the gyms to him, and you can put a marker on all the spots here. And he kind of mapped out all the locations, possibly, for all the gyms. And you guys can see these are all the spots. If you remove my camera here, there's a spot right above, like, my camera right there. You got a spot right down in kind of the desert village. On the right side of the map, you have 2 on the right side of the map. One in this kind of futuristic, like, port city and one in this kind of inland city as well. You have one up by like the round circle mountain thing in the middle. That's super sketchy, by the way, and we're going to be talking about what that could be. There is speculation that possibly could be from a meteorite that crashed into the actual map, right? That crashed into the Paldea region. A meteorite that was being said by Eclipse, by the way, that could have actually been the reason and the cause for the Terrestrial typings, right? And for them existing at all. And you can see there's also a few gyms and stuff or towers up in the mountains as well, most likely where one of the, you know, I guess ice-type gyms would be located or something along those lines. So that's pretty much that for that section, guys. But let's move on now to the actual interactive map itself, which there is actually quite a lot to say about, including also the fact that, you know, we already talked about it again. Like, you guys can see the gyms. They're located in all these spots. You even see, like, the little mini things. I'm going to be honest, I think this is the most detailed map we've ever gotten. I think this is genuinely the most detailed map we've ever received from them, which I think is very interesting. So, this is also what's being said by Soul here. He says, so this is the final third path we have to do to complete the game, the Gym Challenge and Elite Four, which we already know a lot about from the website. Still very cool to see all of them on the map, though. I'm disappointed there's only one main city, which is fair enough. I mean, there's enough mini cities around, so yeah. But, yeah, I think it's quite interesting. Again, shout out to Shadir for, you know, mentioning this to me. This is where I got the info from to start with. But now let's take a look at the actual interactive map. So, the interactive map is as follows. If you look at the middle right here, you will see this is the starting area, right? This is, oh, sorry, the starting area is in the bottom right here. The starting area is in the bottom. Right at the bottom, you'll see this is where your starting town is. This is the route which we've seen before, which splits off. Down here, you also can see when the character from the original trailer is running up the hill. And here, of course, is where we choose our starters, and we get that cutscene, as well as the big mountain mansion with the Dratini fountain. Then down here, we have the lake, where we most likely will get to partner up with one of the legendary Pokemon, either, you know, Koraidon or Miraidon, to then use them as rideable Pokemon to get around the map, right? Then we go further up here, and we find, like, a grotto cave, which might be located around this area here, very early on, which I think is awesome. I like when there's just random caves that can have, like, little goodies and interesting little missions and side stories in them. I think that kind of stuff is honestly pretty awesome. Then we also have this bottom part right here with one of the, I guess, towers or light towers, whatever you want to call it. You got one of those, as well as this right here, which is that same tower from a different perspective with the Magnemite, which looks really amazing. By the way, the actual textures in this game and graphics are just molto bene. I love it, dude. It's fantastic. Also, this area right here on the edge next to the, I guess, the cliffs of the water. Another kind of, I guess, I don't know if I want to call it, like, I guess, a river kind of poking out there, going into the ocean with a bit of a beach there, too. Then we move further up here. We get to the crossroads right here, where you meet this guy who tells you the power of science is amazing, which you guys remember is a sentence that's been in multiple Pokemon games. Now we have this kind of like mini area before you get to the big city, right? You got like a few palm trees. You got a few, like, you know, I guess a Pokemon Center of sorts right there as well, right? So, like a stopping one. You have this little cliff area, which you can look out from to see the city in the middle. And then the actual entrance to the city, you know, within Paldea, you can see, like, the actual entrance where you'll be taking on, I guess, Nimona for the first time. There's also a Pokemon Center right outside where you can go and heal up your Pokemon or buy items. Then in the city itself, you have different aspects to it, right? It's not just one singular thing. There's different parts of it. And I do hope we can actually enter a lot of these buildings, and there's actually interesting stuff in them, and they're not just empty, you know, kind of husks that are just there. But we get to see all of that. And of course, the Academy is at the top of that hill. The Academy is like the creme de la creme on the top of the whole thing. And that's that. Then we go to the right side here. We have the exit on the right. And we then also have an exit on the left here, which we don't have an image of as of right now. We have the city on the left here, which is kind of a desert area. We get to see the little Fido, the little cute, like, little doggies. They're over here just running down the hill in this kind of like deserty area. We haven't seen too much of the desert just yet. We do know we also have this area on the left side, which is another city, which looks a little like, I guess, it's towards, I guess, the area where I would assume it's more based on Portugal, right? I guess the more you go to the west here, the more Portuguese kind of like the towns might be based on. So I'm just going to guess that our boy from, whatchamacallit, Lindsay Sensei is probably going to have a lot of theories on this. But yeah, so that's right there. You go further up, you've got yourself essentially the plains, like this like long road right here, which I'm assuming people are going to be able to race down this long road. I think that's why they made it look like that as well. You have this area on the top here, which is where we might meet one of the, I guess, teachers or something like that. The windmills as well are located here, which is interesting. So that's there too, as well as also this guy. Now this guy, I'm going to talk about him further, but if you guys actually look at his outfit, he has a little Pokemon, like he's got two Pokemon on the top of his chest that are a bit confusing. Now the bottom ones are obviously Gyarados and Rhyhorn, right? But the top ones, you've got a kangaroo looking thing, and on the other side it's either Kangaskhan or a Sandshrew. But the kangaroo is a bit weird. The little kangaroo-looking thing on, like, I guess the right side of his chest here is a bit weird. I mean, left from our perspective, but right on him, like, if he was to, you know, be telling where it is. But yeah, so if you look at the image on the left side there, the yellow one, it looks a bit like a kangaroo. So I do wonder what that's actually going to be. I have no context for it. So we'll see how that turns out, though. Nonetheless, he's probably located in this, like, kind of sandy area on the top, which is also kind of deserty, but a little bit different in a sense than the other deserty area, which... they have like a different vibe to them, right? They all have a bit of a different vibe. Then we have the top of the map, which I feel like we know the least about this area up here, which is like the volcano part on the top there. Don't really have a lot of context for it. We also have this area right here, which has a tower that you can see the little like lake, the little lake that's there. Well, actually, it's a pretty big lake, but you see the big lake, but also you see the little islands in the water as well, which confirms that. Then a big slide down here, which I'm guessing you're going to be able to slide down with your Pokemon and just fly out. And then, of course, we have the top area, which we have the different, like, you know, mountain peaks and stuff, of course, as well. Like, it's a little beach up here, too, which looks very sunny. But the actual mountain peaks up here are where we find the gyms. You know, there's a gym up here, too. But there's, like, you know, basically, like, these different, like, you know, locations here, like, within it that have been shown in the trailer. Then over here, we have what seems to be another town that's right next to the edge of where, like, you can kind of enter this hole in the middle of the map, this giant crater. Which is going to be interesting to see how that's going to pan out. If we go to the right side of the map, we have this spot right here where we see the giant, I guess, waterfall. And a further bit down from there, you have this area as well, kind of like a rocky area, more or less, which is probably going to be where we find, like, the regional fakes, maybe a regional fake or something. Then we have the racing area, which is, I guess, in the right side of the map. So I guess you can kind of split up where everything is a bit located, right? It's a bit all in, like, you know, this kind of, you know, individual spaces. But either way, we also have this area right here, which is where you find another one of the gyms, what looks to be the fire-type gym, specifically in this case, where you have the Sunflora flower, the literal Sunflora flower, which is kind of weird and random. But you've got that town right there. We have a lot of images from that, as well as this zone on the right side, where I guess you find the evil guys, the bad team, which we're going to be interacting with the Penny storyline. And then also this big city, and this is actually a real city-based thing. Like, this is based on a specific thing, and I will be covering this in a future video as well. But this is based on an actual thing within, I think, Spain. I think it's in Madrid. There are these four buildings that are, like, massive, and they're well-known because they're, like, these, you know, kind of modern-looking buildings. It is quite strange, but I don't know. So, nonetheless, that's that. Then we also have this, like, cratery area here where it's, like, kind of, I guess they've been mining out, like, resources and stuff, which is in the top right. And in the top right, we have the area where I guess we'll find the regional Whoopers, which is kind of more, a bit of a sketchy area. We don't really know too much about this top part right here. There's not a lot of context for it. And I don't really know if those images match this area at all, to be honest. Those are the ones where I'm not really certain. So, yeah, whatever you guys think about this, let me know in the comment section down below. But that's pretty much the map as a whole, as of right now. Again, shout out to Razuxo for putting this together. It is fantastic. But let's move on to the final thing, which is from PKM and Leaks. Now, PKM and Leaks, they post a bunch of stuff. Oftentimes, a lot of it's fake, but sometimes they do have interesting stuff. And in this case, they have a 4chan post that includes what looks to be the full Pokedex for this game. Now, there is a lot here, and I'm going to be honest, there's a lot to go through here, man. I do not know if you can trust all of this, but apparently the Tauros will be, like, the different forms would be a fighting type, then a fire rock type, and an ice dart type, which is a bit crazy. Then apparently some of the new legendaries, I guess in this case, would be Naranjana, which is a fairy grass type, and Uvajana, which is a fairy grass type as well, which I guess would be the legendaries that are, I don't know, I don't even know what the connection would be with these ones. Are these the third legendary or something? I don't really know. Costrella Psychic, Mistrella Psychic, and Spukoka, which is a ghost bug type, Nortray, Serena, Esteray, and Ostrana and whatnot. These are Fire Psychic, Ground Psychic, Water Psychic, Flying Psychic. There's a lot of, like, Pokemon listed in this. I don't really know if this is real. If you guys want to pause here and read any of these, feel free to pause right now, because there is a lot, man. There is too much for me to go to, but the actual names of some of these Pokemon, like, for example, Lechonk, evolving into Jamonita, I guess, like, actually fits. The name does fit, because I think Jamon or whatever is some kind of pork, something like that. Bludgy, then, I guess, is the final stage in this case. I don't know. Then there's this Squawket, which sounds like Squavit, which is a flying electric type, and Squawak 2, which is a flying electric type as well. Pomidi, and Pommel. Then Smoliv, Groliv, and Oliviosa, which is grass normal. Waxy, which is a fairy type. Feybonk, which is a fairy rock type. Grubterra, bug ground. Scaradu, which is a bug ground as well. Scarletlas, which is a bug ground type. Monumini, which is a rock type. Doomstone, which that sounds a little bit ridiculous. Rock host type. But yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon listed here. If you guys want to pause again, like I said, and go through all this, you can do that right away. I don't really want to go through every single one of them. My throat's kind of dying. I need a bit of a drink. Stay hydrated. It's really warm right now. So, yeah, I don't know. Whatever you guys think about this, let me know in the comment section down below. And I can't believe we're actually probably going to be hitting the 1,000 mark this time around, if this is true, by the way. But, well, yeah, we should be hitting the 1,000 mark of Pokemon. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be pretty much it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, then drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe, because that is it for today's video. There was a lot to go through. I hope I really didn't miss anything. I don't think really there is much that I could mention that we, you know, haven't already mentioned. But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gents.